Welcome. Let's begin this lecture with its lesson. If we could do a better job valuing others as we demonstrate the value of ourselves, maybe, just maybe, we might be able to heal this country of ours.
And on that point, let's pivot to pancakes. What's one have anything to do with the other, you ask? Bear with me. There's a method to my madness. See, whenever I have guests over, I love to make them homemade pancakes. They're delicious, and I just love to share them with others. Let me share my recipe with you. Whisk together in a large bowl 2 cups flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, ½ teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon salt, and 2 teaspoons sugar. Next, in a separate bowl, whisk together 1 2/3 cup water, 2/3 cup plain yogurt, and 1/3 cup sour cream. Third, whisk 2 eggs into 1/4 cup of melted butter. Fourth, whisk all the wet ingredients together. Fifth, pour and whisk all the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Then, scoop and pour portions of the batter into a non-stick pan set to medium heat. Flip after 2.5 minutes. Wait an additional 2 minutes, then remove from the pan. Finally, butter it, syrup it, and enjoy it. Let's dive deeper into this delicious delectable. But before we do, first, I need to express a personal thank you to Alton Brown. You see, I love the show Good Eats. And his pancakes from the episode Flapjack Do It Again are the very first recipe I've ever put to the pan. And I've been making those pancakes almost every Saturday since. In the spirit of the show, let's go to the supermarket and figure out what it takes to produce the perfect pancake. When it comes to baking, never neglect the foundation of flavor. In the case of pancakes, the 2 most essential ingredients are those of the greatest volume: water and flour. Now, there's no way to make water tasty, but tap water might introduce some funky flavors into your flapjack. If you have a water filtration system at home, great. If not, get some at the store. But I'm not referring to this crime against humanity. Don't waste your money paying some mega corporation to truck filtered water halfway across the country to your local mega mart. Pay your local grocer to filter it for you. You'll keep your water and your money circulating locally, which is a good thing. On the other hand, flour is flavor, so invest wisely. Flours vary greatly, and I'm not just talking about types here, like AP or bread flour. Wheat berries come in a variety of types, qualities, and sizes. Higher priced flours contain higher grade kernels of wheat with less damage, defects, and foreign materials. Top quality flours also specify the class of wheat, like hard red spring or soft winter. Buy that supermarket branded flour, and your stomach's got to settle for satisfactory. You buy that pancake box mix down the aisle, and you'll be stomaching the cheapest flour still found fit for human consumption. So do your taste buds a favor. Invest in King Arthur or White Lily if you have it in your neighborhood. But up here in Minnesota, Dakota Made is where it's at. Save the cheap stuff for the next PTA fundraiser or church bake sale. What's that, you say? Where do the lowest quality brand flours go? Easy. Pet food. Now, I know the original recipe for pancakes on Good Eats calls for buttermilk. So why yogurt then? Well, I certainly didn't intend to start another civil war with my friends south of the Mason-Dixon line. I just happened to marry somebody who's lactose intolerant, and well, happy wife, happy life. Thankfully, Mr. Brown also taught me that yogurt is a much friendlier ingredient for the lactose intolerant, and equal parts yogurt and water can serve as a stand-in substitute for buttermilk. So why sour cream? Well, one Saturday morning, I ran out of yogurt in the fridge, but I still had some sour cream left over. Figuring cultured dairy was cultured dairy, I dumped in a dollop to fill up my measuring cup. That necessary substitution mothered an invention for which my tongue was eternally grateful. Could you use only yogurt? Sure you could. but don't. Trust me, your taste buds will surely thank you. And finally, the maple syrup. I know. The real stuff is just so expensive. If you're willing to make the investment, great. Or if you're really lucky, get a brother-in-law that makes the stuff himself. Then trade him some beer for a jar or two. But if you're batting 0 for 2, then before you tantalize your taste buds with a tastiness otherwise known as, wait, what's that say? Sodium hexametaphosphate? Yum! Instead, why not try out this substitute?
Whisk together in a medium saucepan 1 cup water, 1 cup white sugar, 1 cup brown sugar, 2 tablespoons honey, 1 tablespoon maple extract, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. Put the heat to it, stirring regularly. As soon as it begins to bubble and all the sugar is dissolved, reduce it down to medium-low heat and let simmer for 5 minutes, stirring frequently. Finally, take it off heat and cool to room temperature. Then pour into a glass jar and chill in the fridge.
Now that we're all settled on the recipe and ingredients, it's time to make some pancakes. Just remember, persistent practice pays profusely. Yes, you'll burn some, undercook others, mess up the flip, and so on and so forth. But before you know it, you too will be enjoying the fruits of your labor. But here's a few final tips.
Be consistent with your pans, spatula, stovetop, and cook settings. Make small adjustments only when necessary. Preheat your pans to the right temperature. A drop of water should skittle across the pan, not sit and do nothing or vaporize. Use a measuring cup for consistently sized pancakes. I like 1/3 cup pancakes, but 1/2 cup works as well. Use a rubber spatula to get all that tasty goodness. Use a kitchen timer to remind you when to flip. Serve your pancakes fresh from the pan. Layer your leftovers in paper towels and keep them in the fridge. Just pop some into the toaster on its max setting when you're hungry for a snack.
Let's circle back to where we began this video, valuing one another. What does that have anything to do with making homemade pancakes, you say? Easy. When you learn a skill that other people value, say, making homemade pancakes, and you share that skill with others, they'll learn to value you as a person. Let me give you a hypothetical. Say somebody you're acquainted with, your roommate, wronged you in some way. Let's just go for the jugular here. Say she slept with your boyfriend. Now your boyfriend, you can dump his derriere with the tap of a text, but you're only halfway through your lease with your roommate. So what do? Such a disgrace deserves a dose of indemnification. So you go on Reddit, search revenge on a roommate, and you get some really interesting ideas. Now, I don't think anybody would blame you if you, say, keyed your roommate's car, or left roadkill between her bed sheets, or set her whole wardrobe ablaze in the driveway. But these behaviors burn bridges, and before you know it, you'll be staring at your roommate's smug mug as you walk out of small claims with a judgment against you. Or, bear with me on this, would you like to make your roommate pancakes? Because it's a fact, we all gotta eat, which is a powerful economic equalizer. And besides, this recipe makes plenty for the both of you. So, let your roommate enjoy your pancakes, week after week after week. And then, maybe about a month later, when their sorry behind comes to the breakfast table, fork in hand, salivating like Pavlov's dog, this is what you do.
First, make just a half batch of your pancakes. Then, in a small skillet, mix together 1 diced apple, 2 tablespoons water, 2 tablespoons maple syrup, 1 tablespoon brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon vanilla, and a few shakes of cinnamon. Cover, let simmer for 5 minutes, then remove the lid and reduce it to a syrup. Add a tablespoon butter. Then, Top your pancakes with your apple compote. Oh, and some whipped cream too, just to drive the point home. But just one plate today.
Sit down in front of this adoration of decadent deliciousness and dig in. When your roommate has the audacity to ask where her share of the breakfast is, look her straight in the eye and say with all the confidence, but none of the aggression, "You'll get yours when I get my apology." Then let her decide what she values more, your pancakes or your ex. I think we both know which direction she'll choose. Because, to borrow from the wisdom of a dog obedience instructor I once saw long ago on TV, would be how you train a bitch.
Can you push me on the swings, please?
In a few minutes, okay? Let me just get a couple more takes in here.
Okay. Hello.
You know, when I look at our world today, I worry for my son's future. He's inheriting a world where our citizens no longer want to cooperate with one another. Don't like homosexuals? Don't make their wedding cakes. Got a problem with the police? Hold a protest on the interstate. Don't like the next president? Go to the White House. Break a few windows. Why would I ever want to help that guy? Don't like neighbors knocking at your door? Use them for target practice with your AR-15. I believe in a better world than this, but I don't see anybody working towards achieving it. The foundation of our humanity should be feeling empathy for our neighbors' struggles. But that fantasy is fading fast in this polarized world of us versus them. I know I should love thy neighbor, but come election season, they always have the wrong signs out. Why would I want to help that guy? But here's the problem. No one person can build a bridge, construct a car, or refine the gasoline you need to drive it. Each of us plays an important part in maintaining this modern world that we all enjoy. So if each of us contributes to its prosperity, why do we concurrently hate the individuals making these contributions? I think it's because our political leaders like it that way. Nicolas Cage said it best in his movie Lord of War. You know who's going to inherit the earth? Arms dealers. Because everyone else is too busy killing each other. Our politicians love to sell us the ammunition we attack each other with. Guns kill people. People kill people. Lock him up. Lock her up. Black lives matter. All lives matter. We're so busy sowing discord with our neighbors, we pay no attention to the rich folk north of Richmond as they swim around the swamp.
Honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say. Because I can't believe that here you got me.
They tell us we need them? As if the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess? All the while, our hate for one another empowers them to keep things exactly as they are. When red makes us unhappy, we vote blue. When blue makes us unhappy, we vote red. Round and round we go on this ball of confusion. And the band plays on. Can we all at least agree on this one basic truth? Each of us is just one person out of 330 million people in this country of ours. We're never going to agree with everybody on everything. That said, since when did political idealism become a prerequisite for mutual cooperation? My brother-in-law and I don't ever agree much politically, but when I trade him some beer for his maple syrup, we both leave happy with the transaction. And here's a better example. Last January, I arrived at the Kansas City airport at 1 a.m. in the morning after flying 30 hours across the Pacific, only to discover that my car didn't start. The tow truck driver arriving at the scene looked like the epitomal example of a Trump voter. Now, I might have voted blue the last 3 election cycles, but that man was my hero. My freezing cold, exhausted body was eternally grateful for his help. You know, there's much bigger problems facing our world today than just dead car batteries. But when we lack the trust in each other to believe that we're all working together for each other's benefit, our society crumbles. Maybe, just maybe, if we learn how to cooperate with each other, even those that did us wrong, and break bread together over a stack of pancakes, we could heal this world of ours.
Now, I don't know about all of you, but as for me, I'd like to leave my son a better world than the one I found when I was a child. I know that's a lofty goal and a tall order, but as Confucius said, a man who moves mountains begins by carrying away small stones. As for me, I guess those small stones are serving pancakes.
Finally, a sincere thank you to my local grocery store here in Redwood Falls, Tierstig's Grocery, as well as to local grocery stores everywhere. They didn't pay me anything for this plug. Rather, I'm just grateful for everything they've contributed to my satisfied belly, as well as lending me their grocery store to film a portion of this video. Invest in your community by shopping locally. And if you ever find yourself in Redwood Falls, be sure to stop by Tierstig's and pick up something from their bakery. Trust me, your taste buds will surely thank you.
Well, bear with me. There's a method to this madness. See, when I have guests over... I get it.